Yeah. Andy's man kind of worked me over a little bit. Yeah.
He certainly did. And you just started production on season 2 of Landman. Is that where you're joining us from today?
Yes, we started. Let's see, about a week and a half ago, I guess, almost 2 weeks ago, and it's good to be back there. And the great news is we still have the pretty much, I'd say, 3/4 of the same crew we did last year. So everybody knows everybody. And it kind of fits like a glove. I mean, this show for a lot of us. And this year, Andy and Demi Moore will figure more into it than last season, which is nice because I go way back with both of them, and it's pretty cool. Sam Elliott, I'll go back to the mid-'80s with. Yes, I'm old.
Good. Well, let's get to season 2 in a second, Billy. You play oil man Tommy Norris. You had a guest spot on 1883, and I gather after that Taylor said, "There's something with this guy. Maybe I should write him a part." Is that right?
Well, Taylor had gotten a hold of me and said, "Listen, I'm doing this show 1883. It's got your old buddies Sam and Tim and Faith in it, and I wrote this cameo, and once I wrote the cameo, I realized that I needed a guy who had done this type of thing before." And he said, "Would you come down and do this cameo? You'll be here just over the weekend, and you get free lunch." And I said, "I'm starving." So I went down there, and I shot everybody in the saloon and went home. It was fun. And when they had the premiere in Las Vegas for it, afterward I was sitting with Taylor at dinner, and he said, "Listen, I'm writing this show. It's called Landman. It's about looking behind the curtain of the oil business." And I thought, well, that's interesting. They haven't really done that in a long time anyway. One of my favorite movies coming up was Giant, with Rock Hudson, Elizabeth Taylor, and James Dean. And so it seemed to be like Giant with more cursing. And
well, hold on, does that make you Bic or Jet?
I think I'm kind of a combo of the two of them, It's a pretty interesting character. It's essentially the thing that really appeals to me about the character. He's someone who has the weight of his world on his shoulders every day of his life, and then problems just come at him from every direction, including his family and friends, co-workers, everybody. And you're working in a business that's very dangerous. It's informative in a lot of ways, and what I like about it is it shows different points of view and everything, and I think these days and times, people tend to watch things with an agenda. And so if you showed one of Van Gogh's paintings these days, they would say, well, it's painted brilliantly, but I don't like birds, So I think that happens a lot of times. So Taylor really just presents the way it works, the various things that go on in this. And of course, like you said, it was based on a podcast by Christian Wallace called Boomtown. And he and his family all worked in the oil business, actually in the fields. And, they know what they're talking about, so that's really good. And anytime I didn't know what something meant, for sure, because as an actor, you can't just learn lines and recite them, because people are not stupid. They catch on pretty soon that you're just doing it by rote. So we were lucky enough to have them on set, both of them, to say, hey, exactly what does this mean? That way, when I look in another actor's eyes, I can say it with confidence because I know the meaning behind it.
But it's gone down well with that community, Billy. So it must be, that group of oil men and landmen, they recognize themselves in Tommy.
Yeah, I think so. I have run into a lot of people, but you know what's surprising about the show? We figured that it would do well with sort of the middle of the country, maybe not the coast as well. And we didn't really have a lot of, we didn't think too much about an international audience, in other words. And as it turns out, it became like at the end of January, it was the #1 streaming show in the world, and we were like bowled over, you know, it was like, we couldn't believe it. And it's appealed to a lot of different types of people, you know, which we're very proud of, you know, the fact that people really like the show this much. And, you know, you get interested in characters when you watch something, whatever it is, you know, and people want to know what's going to happen next. And I think that's the wonderful thing about streaming is it gives people something to get invested in for a period of time, you know, and evidently they invested pretty well. Yeah, we're all very proud.
Yeah, they certainly have. You alluded to, it's not just the oil fields that cause Tommy some bother, but his family. So obviously you have his ex-wife Angela, played by Ali Larter, who becomes a little bit more than just an ex-wife. You have his daughter Ainsley, you have his son Cooper. There's a bit of bother at home as well, particularly the women in his life. They give him a little bit of jip, right?
It's a full-time job, yes. I remember somebody saying to me, and I think some of the early reviews were saying, "Oh, there aren't really women like Ali in you know, in real life stuff. It's like sort of a heightened reality with her character and everything." And I said, "Have you ever been to Dallas?" You know, just go down there, and believe me, Allie's on every other corner.
It's all elbows and eyebrows, isn't it? Something like that.
Right.
You've come full circle in season 1. You get, you know, we start off with Tommy getting the crap kicked out of him, and then we end, as you saw there, with Andy. There's an interesting moment, as you see with the coyote. I'm trying to get the sense that you as an oil man and the cartel with Andy Garcia's character is sort of coexisting. I'm trying to figure out, in those final scenes where Tommy sees the coyote, does that make you or the cartel? There's something about that scene that could be read either way.
Yes. And that was Taylor's intention, really. And originally, and there are a couple of moments where I see a coyote out in the field staring at me. So the idea behind that is this coyote a ghost? Is it real? Is he me? Is he the cartel? And then when the one gets killed right in front of me, it's like, did I just get killed or did I kill someone else? Who am I? Is that coyote me? We seem to have a connection. Maybe it's them. Originally, there was a bunch of dialogue in those scenes, and Taylor and I talked it over, and I said, you know what, I don't know if I should say anything. I mean, you know, people are going to get it, so we don't really want to put a hat on a hat, like I have right now. One way or the other, it was a very powerful scene. I mean, even doing it, you know. Getting a coyote to stand still and stare at you is not easy, but we managed.
Yeah, I can't imagine how you do that.